Matthew here from Disaster Area Designs. I'm doing a demo today of the DPC-4 pedalboard controller. The DPC-4 builds on the technology that's in our DPC-8 so if you've watched any of those demo videos, then you'll have a good idea about what we're going to do today. The DPC-4 is a very compact MIDI pedal switcher, and it will act like a MIDI controller for some very limited applications. But mostly it's a pedalboard controller. So it's got 4 effects loops. These are all in series, they're always in the same order. An input and an output, they're all on the back panel along with the power inlet. On the sides are MIDI in and MIDI out. So we've got a picture here showing the MIDI in and out locations and the jacks here. It's mostly set up to work as 4 mono loops, but it will also work as 2 stereo loops, although you do have to use stereo Y cables to run the input and output only. We've got it here being controlled by a DMC-4 Gen2, which is this pedal here. The DMC-4 Gen2 has 4 foot switches. I've got this one set up to scroll 24 presets, and I've got the upper left button configured as a favorite switch. This demo is a little bit different for us. It's a bass demo. I do own some guitars and I can kind of play them, but I'm definitely more of a bass player. So I thought I'd do this showing the board that I use. So let's cover the signal chain. We've got, starting at the upper right, an older X2 XDR1 wireless receiver. Going into a Moore yellow comp. This is an optical compressor that I leave on all the time. Out of that we go into a TC electronic Polytune Mini Noir, and then from the Polytune into the DPC-4 There's 4 loops, and they are in order: a Darkglass Microtubes B3K, a Boss HM2 Heavy Metal, which is in the loop of a One Control Mesquite blender, a Dr. Scientist The Elements, and from our friends at Walrus Audio, a Voyager overdrive pedal. Out of the DPC-4 we go into a Zoom MS-70 CDR. I use the MS-70 in place of the Line 6 M9 or M5. I used to have an M5 on this board, but I decided to go with the Zoom because it has a few more options that I like to use. Okay, so what does all this stuff do and why do we need it? I play bass in a heavy metal band, and we're a 1 guitar band, so I have to fill in a lot of space, especially when the guitar player takes a solo, or when I have to lock in with the bass drum for punches and things like that. So my normal tone is fairly distorted all the time, so most of the time when I'm playing it sounds more or less like this. So I've got the B3K on, so that's the lower left button here. If I wanted to turn the B3K off, I could just tap the button, and then I'd have a clean signal. If I wanted to turn on one of the other effects, I just have to hit the button. Dr. Scientist. Or the Voyager. So it's really convenient to be able to get to all 4 of my drive pedals in a very small footprint. They all sit here on my board. They take up a fair amount of room, pretty much the entire back row, but having them accessible all from the front is really, really handy. I can keep the stuff that I actually need to get to in a live situation all right on the front row, without having to move things around or anything like that. So why do we have a MIDI controller? Well, the MIDI controller actually is connected to the DPC-4 and what it lets me do is I can call up any of several saved sounds. So my normal sound is sort of this guy. And then I've got a clean sound here. I've got a pitch shifted sound here. I've got a fairly sort of gritty sound here. A little bit of a boost. I've got a dirty sound here. For a little bit of delay. Or I've got my insane sound. So I can call up a preset combination of these effects. I don't stack these much. Occasionally I'll stack the B3K and the Voyager, or the elements in the Voyager. So that sounds like this. But it's a little cumbersome to do live, so what you can do is actually set up a preset of your stacked drive pedals, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually pretty straightforward. You need to move to a preset that you don't want to use. For example, let's go to 5. Let's say we wanted to save something on 4. All we would have to do is turn on the 2 pedals, or the 1 pedal, or however many pedals we actually want to use. Turn on the pedals we want to use, we hold the store button, and the pedal starts flashing, and then we just send it a MIDI program change. So we're just going to engage the number 4 preset. And the pedal stores that, and we're all good. So now, if we go to 5, we've got a different sound. If we go back to 4, so that's it. Really, really straightforward. If you want to save a sound on the pedal itself, the procedure is identical. You go and turn on the sounds that you want. You hold the store button until the LEDs start to flash. And now we're able to pick a bank and a preset where we'd like to save. So if you want to save this in the red bank, we just tap this guy until he's in the red bank, and then we hold 1 or more of these buttons. So we can hold 1, 2, or 3. There's 4 banks, and there's 3 presets in each bank, so 12 different sounds. So let's say we want to save it in red 1, and that's it, all saved. So it's really, really straightforward. If you want to use the pedal without a MIDI controller, you hold this guy, and now you're in the preset mode. So here's our presets. Red, green, blue, and purple. So there's a red mode. Here's the sound we just saved. So here's our different presets. Really, really straightforward. Tapping the current preset bypasses. So it's a lot like the DPC-8 EZ. It's just smaller, with half as many loops, no input buffer, no tuner out. It's designed to work as an expander for an existing system, or it's great for stacking drive pedals like I'm doing here, or if you've got a fairly uncomplicated system that you just want to add some automation to. It's a great choice for that. We've got these available on our website now. We've got them in several different colors, not just unpainted aluminum like this one. So if you've got any questions or comments, please post them below. Thanks for watching.